That's Germans what they love to do best. They're out, work day is over, and they run into the woods and jog around. They love the woods. Germans love the woods. Whether they're just going for a walk like I am doing, or whether they're jogging around, they always go to the woods. Unbelievable. So, here we are. Here we are. This is the tower. Actually, this is just a little bit of the tower. The original used to be pretty much as high, probably, as that tree. And I know that because the other towers are not as crumpled down as this one, and they are pretty much that tall. Actually, all these rocks, these are the original rocks of the tower, but they're actually not the original layout except for the foundation. Until the 80s, there used to be nothing here but a mound that was grass overgrown. And then they did an archaeological dig and they found these remains. They knew it was here actually. And they built a little bit back of the tower. A little bit back of the tower. So there's an inscription inside that tower. And it says something. It says something about this. What was this all about? Well, we shall find out. Because in here, it says... Oh, you probably cannot read that. What that says is Rieswarte, which is the name. It was built 1439 to 1443 as part of the outer defensive system of the city of Göttingen. And the city of Göttingen here... Oh. Well, there's all a bunch of trees. Can't see anything. City of Göttingen, you actually cannot see from here, but it's, well, it's way over that hill back there, like 2 hills over. So it's a big, big defensive ring that they built. This is when Göttingen was essentially an independent city for pretty much a century before they got taken over by some sort of duke again. Yeah, and this is where they used to tax people. So they would come through here. This used to be one of the roads here that comes here through the woods. And this would be one of the roads that would lead into Göttingen. And they would stop people and tax them, like people apparently always love to do. This is this tree. Very nice tree. So this is where we always came to as a child and hung out until we were bigger and we could actually go farther, like to the fortress. And here, this is really cool. Well, I can already see Chris's face actually if he ever comes across these videos. He's like, oh my god, he's such a fucking dork. And it's all history. Who cares about history? Fuck history. But, okay, so here, ooh, I don't know whether no one can see it. Here, so there's the tower. Here's the road that people will take into Göttingen. And the defensive ring itself is actually still here. It's that mound. In fact, it's actually 2 mounds in a row. There's one, and it goes down and it comes back up. There was no water in there, but this mound, or 2 series of mounds, made a circle that went all around the town. Absolutely incredible. Back in like 1500 or earlier, they made this, it went all around, something like a diameter of, I don't know what, 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, unbelievable. And on top of this, there didn't used to be any forest. They cut down all the forests so that you could look from one tower to the next. The next tower is exactly there in that direction, but too far that you can see it because there's a freaking forest in the way. But back then they cut it all down so they could actually see from one tower to the next and communicate with drum signals, and I don't know whether they did smoke. Anyway, and then up here, these mounds had thorny bushes so dense that you couldn't penetrate. To keep thieves out, to keep people out that wanted to enter the town, so they were all forced. You only could really, unless you were really determined, but then probably someone on that tower would spot you and I don't know what they would do, kill you or something. And yeah, so you had to come through here. Pretty cool, huh? And then in here, there's actually one pretty close, but I'm not entirely sure where it is, so I don't want to make this video too long anyways. It's already 4.5 minutes here. But somewhere in here, there are milestones, old milestones. And some of them you can still read, and they tell you who this land belonged to. So back behind that fortification, that belonged to the town of Göttingen. But then out here, some of these markers actually say Hessen, which now is quite a bit south of here, but they had small little holdings. In fact, The fortress at one time belonged to Hessen. I have a feeling that has something to do with one another. And I'll cut it here. There's another jogger. See? They love the woods. They come from everywhere.